Once they got into 11 on 11, they petered out, and they petered out in the troubling way of kind of reverting to mistakes and unforced errors. Pre-snap penalties, holds, offensive pass interference. They're going to have to progress from today into tomorrow and get a lot better to make people smile.
Well, that's exactly what happened. The Patriots all smiles today after their impressive performance in day 2 of joint practices with the Packers. Rave reviews pouring in from Patriots reporters from coast to coast. The Athletic's Chad Goff calling it their best practice of 2023. He added the offense was really good and the defense dominated. Mass Live's Mark Daniels chiming in as well, writing today was one of the best practices I've ever seen from Mac Jones. What a day. That laughter you hear to my left is Mike Giardi. We'll check in with him in a second. Listen, asking you shall receive, though, Mike. Yesterday I implored the Patriots to be better, and today in Green Bay the Patriots were much, much better. But now, do it again. Hello and welcome to Arbella Early Edition. I am Trenni Casey. Just like with the Celtics, this is like my mantra with these guys. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me a million times over, shame on me. I am old enough to remember when we spent a few days on this show raving about the Patriots offense and how much better it looked. Hell, I went out so far as changing the number of wins I predicted for this team this season. And then the problems started piling up on both sides of the ball. The offense, though, is still the focal point. And today, they did look like a real NFL offense, but do it again. Meanwhile, Matthew Judon was asked after practice today if this was a win for the Patriots.
You call it what you want. We call it getting better. So win today, lose today. You got to watch and get better and work off that.
All right, they do have to get better. Keep working on it. Tom Curran still there in God's country in Green Bay. Tom, everybody's raving about this practice. Mike Giardi is here with us as well from Boston Sports Journal. Curran, what was the best part of practice today? Why did they look so good in practice?
They were just so efficient. They really seemed to come out with a greater sense of purpose, a commitment to being enthusiastic, bringing attitude, and really competing at a high level. But what was so interesting was when you have that departure from the mental errors and the lack of focus that seemed to creep in on Wednesday to a full-on just concerted effort to execute on every single play that the Green Bay Packers seemed to have a little bit more of on Wednesday. There were just thoroughly dominant periods, whereas beat writers, you're looking at, are they trying? Are the Packers trying? They're trying, right? Yeah, they're getting killed over here. And it was going on at both ends of the field. So to me, I mean, we can take the bad days and we sometimes say, well, what's that mean? They're going to be a disaster. When they do have the good days, Trent, we can't always say, show me again. Sometimes the good day can just be a good day. No one's saying everything's solved. The snapshot of today, tremendous that they could make a 180, in my opinion.
I think that's the important thing about this, right, is that they did have the good day bouncing back from what happened yesterday. And yesterday, by all accounts, was really rough. I mean, reading Tom, you're like, I got a lot of concerns. It's sort of built on what's happened in this camp. And, yeah, there were a couple days in camp where you felt like the offense was on the uptick. We all wrote the stories like, hey, finding their rhythm, finding their balance. But then the offensive line's a mess. And then they go into Green Bay and they kind of get their butts kicked. And you're like, are we about to go through this all over again? So for them to have this sort of bounce back is important. And, yes, they should be applauded for it, Trenni, because we do kill them when they have bad days. But then I got to throw a little cold water on it because this Green Bay Packers defense, it's not that good. They weren't very good last year. So in many ways, you did what you should do, right? You should, if you're going to be a better team this year, if you're going to be a better offensive operation this year, then these are one of those teams that you should go in and you should knock around, you should bully, and you should have success. So it's good they did it. Now I'm hoping, Tom, that they actually play some of these guys on Saturday and we get to see them actually kind of carry over a little bit.
I guess the dividing line is when we say it's a good day for a mediocre team with aspirations of being good and playoff caliber. It's not a good day that's a harbinger of look out Buffalo Bills. It's really, they got back to zero trend and now they're trending in a good spot. And like, I don't know if we'll see him on Saturday and how much because of the volume of work, Trenni, over the last 2 days. But at least it's in there. and their job is to extract it, as you point out, on a more continuous basis.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by, like, let's see it again. And I don't need perfection day in and day out, but I'd like to continue to see some progress day in and day out. Well, there was a lot of chippiness also today. Several skirmishes breaking out, including Anthony Jennings getting kicked out of practice after leveling Keyshawn Banks. Here's Matt Judon once again on today's spirited practice.
We don't put gloves on for a living. Like, we're no boxers, we no fighters. We came out here to get better and improve in our craft. And if any of that would have happened during the game, we all would have been kicked out. We'd have been playing with like 17 players, right? So you can't, that stuff can't happen.
I mean, it can happen, obviously, and you want to be able to control your emotions, Tom, in a game. But, like, I guess I don't hate it in a situation like this, especially when you came out flat yesterday. I mean, I know there were a lot of skirmishes, though, but I don't think it was anything that was like a massive brawl.
Right. The Anthony Jennings thing, you know, while laudable because he was responding to a punch thrown at Keon White, it's a little irresponsible and over the top. You knock somebody down, you fracture a collarbone of a guy from the blind side. It's just not what you're looking for in terms of supporting your teammates. That's going over the line, and that's why Anthony Jennings was booted from practice. But this is something Gerard Mayo talked to us about at the Super Bowl 2 years ago, where they want their leaders to step forth and assume the mantle of leadership. And in some ways, the Hightowers, the McCourtys, the Slaters, they're still there and contributing, so it's hard for other guys to perhaps put their stamp and imprint on things. I think one of the best leaders on this team, in a almost Rodney Harrisonian way, will wind up being Jabril Peppers. He didn't shut up all day. He was involved in the offense. He was involved in the defense from the sidelines. He was being asked to pipe down. He wasn't piping down. He was a playmaker on the field. I thought he was their most aggressive and, for lack of a better word, violent players last year. And I just like that while as professional as Devin McCourty was and as invaluable as he was and as physical as he was, there needs to be a little bit of an edge on that side of the ball. And I think Peppers is doing a nice job stepping into that void.
Yeah, Mike, we've wondered what the identity of this team could be. And I don't know if we still know it in an X's and O's way, but maybe they're a tough team, a team that's not going to back down and is going to step up to challenges, which, for being honest, we didn't see last year.
We haven't seen it since about 2018, 2019. We haven't seen it since they were 8-0 to start Tom Brady's last season. Like, that is important. And that is, it can't be everything that you're about, but if it's part of what you're about, it's a foundation that you can build, and you know that in those moments you can look to the guy to your right and look to the guy to your left, and they're going to be right there with you. That's pretty important, I think. So, that, again, maybe another thing to build on here.